I just wish the parties that were trying to benefit from the BJP had the guts to meet the Home Minister in daylight.
These elections are.
All elections are significant. These are a general election. We have to send representatives to Parliament. The significance of these elections obviously goes up because they're the first after the momentous betrayal of 5th August 2019. They're also the first after the delimitation. So for a number of reasons, these elections become important.
There has been a lot of political discourse about Article 370 and the restoration of it by the political parties and political leaders. There has been also silence about it from the people's side.
What have they talked about, poor people? They have not been allowed to talk about anything. Every time they want to speak up, their voices are subdued. They are pressurized into being silent. So this time they've chosen to speak the only way they know how. They're coming out in large numbers and casting their vote. And most of these votes will go to parties that are opposing what the BJP did.
Yesterday, you saw the visit of Home Minister Amit Shah. So how you perceive that visit?
Well, it's a strange visit because officially the BJP has no candidates in these 3 seats. And clearly he came for a political purpose. That's why he stayed in a 5-star hotel and met people there. I suspect that the BJP is very rattled by the response that NC has got, particularly in Agar Ruhullah's election. And they're trying to now rally their forces for Baramulla and Anantnag.
So you asked your supporters not to pick up the phone call. What is the reason?
Because they're getting calls from police stations and they're being summoned and then they're being kept until the end of polling. We saw this in the first phase, the Srinagar phase. So I don't want them to pick up the phones because if they don't get the call, they won't go to the Thana.
You have been saying that this election is about NC versus the rest. How you see it?
That's exactly how I see it.
The PDP is taking up the issue, talking about the 1987 rigging and all that. How you see that also?
Well, then they need to explain what Mufti Muhammad Sayyid Saab was doing in that coalition. And then they need to start talking about all the massacres that took place when Mufti Sayyid was Home Minister. I have no problem. We will answer for 87. But they need to answer for 1990 and onwards, all the massacres that Mufti Sayyid engineered.
Also, how you see the engineer Rashid contesting from the Baramulla constituency?
Another one to join the gang. He's a contestant. They're trying an emotional campaign. They're talking about one prisoner, one person's liberty. The National Conference is talking about thousands of people's liberty. That's what differentiates us. They're not even talking about Yasin Malik and Shabir Shah. I would have hoped that if nothing else, they would talk about people like Asian Rabi, Yasin Malik, Shabir Shah. But they have a single point agenda to talk about only one person. National Conference is talking for all those thousands of youngsters who have been detained after 2019.
A number of the BJP leaders are asking to vote for and not for NC, PDP and Congress. How you see it?
The BJP is free to ask for votes whoever they want. I just wish the parties that were trying to benefit from the BJP had the guts to meet the Home Minister in daylight rather than at the midnight hour. We all know this Srinagar is a very small place. We all know somebody or the other who works in that 5-star hotel where the Home Minister was staying. We know who came at midnight and who met him. So I wish these parties had the guts to at least admit that they're trying to benefit from the BJP.
My last question is, they are accusing these political parties, both NC and the PDP, of being dynasties. How you see it?
Do the voters have a problem with it? If the voters don't have a problem with it, I really couldn't care less what the BJP says.